Hey, Black Lions and Black Lion families. First of all, for all those who are currently positive with COVID and are working through that, Sergeant Major I and everybody in the task force wishes you a full and fast recovery. We had just over 700 soldiers have an opportunity to take some leave. Hopefully you all got to spend some time with family, friends, come back rested, ready to train. And then next time you see Martin 6, make sure you give him a big high five, because he advocated strongly that we were able to take a mileage unrestricted leave period. So thank him for that when you get an opportunity. And so I wanted to share a few things with you as we come off of leave, so that we set the conditions properly and ensure that we do not add to some of the current local spread of the COVID-19 through our installation and through our local area. And plus, just as it's been for the many couple months here, there's been a few changes over the last couple weeks that I want to make sure everybody's tracking and aware of. So we have a new commanding general for Fort Benning, Georgia. Major General Pat Donahoe took over. He's a prior chief of staff here, so he's very familiar with Fort Benning. He took over on July 17th, and I encourage you all to watch his video that he posted out on the Fort Benning website, that kind of his introduction to Fort Benning and some of his expectations. He's also a big proponent of social media, and you can follow him on Twitter as he interacts regularly with everybody in his following group there. We wish farewell to Major General Promotable Gary Brito. He's going to go off to be the Army G1. It's great for Fort Benning, great for the Brito family, and with that obviously comes a well-deserved promotion to Lieutenant General. So shortly after Major General Donahoe took over, he signed an updated GO number 5, and I wanted to highlight a few of the changes that it applies to us, because some of them are a bit significant than we've seen in the last couple of GOs. So whereas the last couple of general orders have started to loosen some of the restrictions, you'll see in this one there's been some more escalating of restrictions. First of all, I want to highlight who General Order number 5 applies to, because this is important, and I'm going to read it directly. It applies to all individuals, whether military or civilian, who are assigned, attached, live, or work on and visit the Maneuver Center of Excellence in Fort Benning area of responsibility. And while that's significant, whereas in previous orders the general order only applied to active duty members, and it was encouraged that everybody else followed those rules or followed the orders, this one is a bit different. So it applies to everybody that comes onto Fort Benning, whether you live here, work here, or of course if you're assigned here. And so one of the first discussions is, well, if I'm a family member, nobody can order me to do something. That's a true statement, still is. However, if you are not abiding by the restrictions within General Order number 1, you can actually be barred from post from the commanding general. So it's an important distinction to understand as we try to get all of our teammates involved in preventing the spread and turning down our numbers here at Fort Benning. Our mileage restriction after we come back off of leave is back to 150 miles with up to 250 miles at my approval level. And after 250 miles, we'll require Major General Aguto, who is the first general officer in our change of command. So General Burris, the Deputy Commanding General for support, moved on out, and he's heading off to another job. And there currently is not another general officer in between the task force and General Aguto. So anything above 250 miles will require his approval to leave installation for that distance. GO number 5 still maintains that on-post personnel who live on post are to remain on post except for essential activities. And I just want to read what some of those are again. It includes healthcare needs, grocery shopping, curbside and takeout meals, postal banking, laundry services, gas stations, hair salons, barbershops, home improvement stores, and restaurants with outdoor seating. An important distinction here is that indoor seating off posts at restaurants and indoor gymnasiums or gyms are off limits again. Okay? And then same for the off-post personnel. You may travel to and from your residence from Fort Benning. You may use all of the services that are on Fort Benning. That applies for obviously both on and off post. Right? But when you are not doing an essential activity, you are to remain home. And so while things have opened up across Georgia, it's important that everybody remembers and understands that we are still under an essential activity kind of restriction of movement. Social gatherings remain at no more than 15 personnel, and they have to account for social distancing, and that includes no barracks and no block parties. All right, another big important thing to reiterate is that face masks are required in enclosed areas, both on and off post. So if you get into a vehicle with somebody that you do not cohabitate with, those two occupants in that vehicle or more should be putting on a mask because you're in an enclosed space. Same for if you go into the Best Buy or you go into a grocery store or anything else that's enclosed off post, you need to put on your mask. Okay? Additionally, if you are outdoors and you cannot maintain 6 foot separation, you need to put on a mask, which I know is a very tough thing to do during this time of the season, right? But if you happen to be outdoors and you cannot maintain 6 foot separation, you should be in a mask. And then another thing that General Order Number 5 reiterates is if you get a test at an off-post facility or something that's not part of the Martin Army Community Hospital network here on Fort Benning, you are required to inform your first line leader, who is also required to make sure that up to the company commander in the task force is notified. Okay? And what that also means for spouses and dependents who may work on post, right? If they also go and get a test, they must notify their supervisor here on post. Okay? So for those that are coming back off of leave, as you sign in, and we're going to do another video here shortly to kind of explain what our sign-in procedures are going to look like, but you'll be instructed to read General Order Number 5 again before you are released from the screening area. And so those are just a few things I wanted to highlight. So we are back to the 150-mile restriction. That's a big thing. And the indoor restaurants are off limits again, and indoor gymnasiums off post. Look forward to seeing everybody come back. Hopefully most of us are rested, ready to go, ready to get back into training. And at some point in time, get out there and hunt with a pack.